All right, here we go. So we are looking at 221. This is graphing linear inequalities. It's very similar. If it was just graphing linears, it's the same exact approach, except because we have inequalities, that's these symbols, we're going to end up with dotted lines instead of just a straight line, a solid line. Or we may end up with a solid line if the values could be equal. If it has an equal option, then it's just a whole solid line. Okay. And our approach for this is to remember things we already know. We already know this. We already know that the linear inequalities are going to be in the same form as our linears. Y is equal to mx plus b. So finding and graphing the linear inequality, regardless of the inequality symbol, the starting point, the starting actions are going to be exactly the same as when we graph a linear equation. We're going to simplify the function so it's in this form. We're going to graph plotting the y-intercept and then use the slope to find the next point, just like before. Okay, so I'm going to first do this problem as if it's an equation, and then we'll see that it's going to be very similar in how we go about it. Okay, first off, I want to make it into this form. Y is equal to mx plus b. So if this was an equation, just a hypothetical here, I would subtract 3x. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. Is this in our slope-intercept form now? Yeah, let's look. Y is equal to negative 3. That must be my slope. X plus 2. So I look here, and yeah, this information is going to be quick to pull out. I know that's my slope. I know that's my y-intercept. Right? I look to the format, tells me where things should go. Once you have it in the format, you can pull information out quick. That's why formats are important. You got to have the format set up. So if I was just going to graph this now, I would look and see, well, my y-intercept is 2, so I know that point is on the line. And then I would use my slope to find the next point. Negative 3 over 1 is my slope. So watch, 1, 2, 3, and positive 1. Here's my next point. Okay. So this would be just, grabbing your ruler, or if you just make straight lines, that's fine. You don't have to use a ruler. And I would be done. Everyone okay with me just graphing that line like that? Everyone okay with that? We feel pretty comfortable with that? Okay, so this lesson is only a couple steps further than that. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and now graph this right here. Watch, it's going to be the same process. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 3x from both sides. I'm going to end up with y is greater than negative 3x plus 2. Okay. So now that I have my function in my slope-intercept form, now I can just go ahead and pull out the same information. That's my slope. You see how it's exactly the same? I feel like I'm saying the same thing. It's exactly the same because it's the same process, guys. Same process. Okay. So now watch. The only difference is going to come when we graph it. We have to keep in mind a couple things here. Okay. And I'm going to add one step up here, actually. I'll do it in a second. Watch. If I'm graphing this guy, right? I do the same process. The y-intercept is 2. Y-intercept. Now, I'm not going to make my line. I'm just going to find my next point, and then I'm going to look to see, well, what kind of line do I need to make? Watch. We're going to go down 3 because the slope is negative 3 over 1. Right? Negative 3 is negative 3 over 1. So watch. Down 1, 2, 3 over 1. That's my other point. I could do that again and find the next point and find the next point. It's just going down these steps that are down 3 over 1. Okay. Now, here's the thing, though. Now I want to decide what kind of line do I need to make. Do I need to make a solid line or a dashed line? So in the chat, let me know. Should I make a solid line or a dashed line? It's based on this symbol. All right. Good. Jessica, Rocco, Natalie, good. Sophia, good. Curtis, I like how you did that. Janice, Yancy, all good. Watch. I need to go in here. And because it's just greater than, I look up here and just greater than or just less than has a dashed line. Dashed. solid. Okay. So I need to go here and make a dash line. That's about as hard as it's going to get. One more step after this. Dun, 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 dun. Dash line. Everyone okay with my dash line? It's pretty amazing. All right. Now, the very last step. The very last step. What does this part say? The very last step. Last. Lastly, we're going to look at it's either going to be y is greater than or y is less than. Okay. So I look here and it's y is greater than. So if here's my boundary right here, here's my boundary. Let's see, what y values are we going to include? If it's saying y is greater than the line, what y values are we going to include? Are we going to shade above the line or below the line? So tell me, above the line or below the line? We look here, look at y is greater than or y is less than. It says y is greater than. So am I going to, I'm going to go ahead and shade above the line. You could shade however you want. You don't have to use a marker or anything like that. You see how I just shaded above the line? Because look, these are the y values that are less than the line. But look, once we get the line dashed and everything, we just look at the symbol and y is greater than. So we're going to go above the line. Thumbs up, sideways, down. Yeah. Okay. That's the end of that problem. You like that? Compared to last lesson? Last lesson took like 15 minutes of problem. You could do these problems pretty quick, okay? Next lesson is going to have 2 lines involved. Don't worry about that. It's the same process, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next problem. I'm realizing that maybe I can just rip this out or scissor it up real quick. Let's put it up here. Look at that, old school cut and paste. Man, how old is this guy? All right, why not? I'm just going to cut this part out. All right, let's do it for this one. Let's get it all in the order we want first. I want it to look like the top part here. I want it to look like y equals mx plus b. So I look here, it's not quite in the right order. Y has something over here attached. So I'm going to start by, I'm just realizing this works better if I put it right underneath the other one. I just wanted to show up there that I subtracted 3x so that when I come down here, it makes sense for us as well. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I'm going to get y is less than or equal to 5 halves x plus 5. Okay. Man, we already got it in the order we need. So now I just have to look. That's a 2, not a 7. 2. Okay. Now I just have to look. Okay, there's my m. There's my b. I got to graph it. I got to dash it or solid it, and I got to shade it. A lot of stuff. Not so bad though. Let's see. We need 5, huh? Let's do this. Okay. Plot your first step. Plot your y-intercept at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what is it saying? What is the slope? The slope? Oh man, I did this backwards. Dang it. Okay. I didn't leave us much room. Sometimes you're going to notice that the slope or the way you set up your graph doesn't quite help you. That's okay. We'll do it anyway. Who cares? All right, here's the thing. The rise or the slope is a rise of 5, a run of positive 2. Both these are positive. So I know that from here, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go over positive 2. 1, 2. So it's kind of right here. We could also go down 5 and over -2. That's going to give us the same line here. Okay. Just go down 5 and left 2. Yeah. That's what I did. But I wanted to show that's kind of like the clever way to think about it. So sometimes when I'm teaching, I end up having to rely on the clever. So I try to explain it that we could go up or down. It's good you know that, Axel. All right. Now, tell me in the chat, are we going to have a dashed line or a solid line? Yep. Everyone answering's right. Yep. Solid. Solid's easier. Look. Line it up. Connect your dots. Okay. Solid line. And now I've written right through it. But now we are going to do our last step. Look at this. Y is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. So here's my line. If Y values that I'm interested in are less than the line, am I going to shade above or below? Above or below? Shade above or below? Y is less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. So I'm going to shade below. And it might be hard to see that. Yeah, this is below the line though, right? This is below the line. The Y values, here's 5, here's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 for Y. Those are lower. That's less than the line. So I shade below it. All right. Good. Everyone that said below, you guys had it. We're 100% for that. That's good. Okay. Now that is the extent of the lesson. I'll zoom out and let you guys do a screenshot real quick for this. Let me get it lined up so it's nice to see. Okay. Hello. That's as far out as you go, huh? All right, at least you have the two problems. Go and screenshot that, and now move it up and get the top. Yeah, that's a good one. Let me look at it. Yeah, we're going to have homework. It's going to be 2, 2, 1, numbers 1 through 6, but I'm probably going to do number 1 right now. All right, there's another good question coming up as far as how did I get these points for number 1? All right, take a screenshot again at the top if you need the top. The reason and the way that I got these 2 points, right? These 2 points. The first point comes from my y-intercept. Remember that with y is equal to mx plus b, our y-intercept is our b value. So our b value is 2, so that's why I put the 2 on the y-axis, right? Remember that the two parts of graphing a line is to find the y-intercept and then find the step up or down to get to your next point. So what I did here is I looked at my slope. My slope is -3 over 1. So watch from here. I go down 3, 1, 2, 3. I go over 1, and that's how I got my other point. Cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Well, let's see. Yeah. Who wants to do number 1 in the homework? Anybody want to do a homework problem? Not really? Yeah. All right, not many people went for it, so I'm going to stop the video.